Welcome back. Today, we're diving into an explainer that's all about demystifying natural muscle recovery. We're going to completely separate the scientifically proven biological facts from those wellness myths that just won't seem to die. By the end of this, you're going to have the exact, evidence-based tools you need to help your body heal faster and way more effectively.
Okay, let's dive into this. Have you ever woken up with muscles so incredibly stiff you feel like you can barely roll out of bed? Honestly, whether it's from a grueling workout, a super long day doing yard work, or just being hunched over a computer screen for hours, that universal, relatable pain is something we all want to banish as quickly as humanly possible.
To get you feeling better, we're taking an inside-out approach today. We'll quickly cover the causes of muscle pain, healing from the inside out, the science of the soak, topical relief and temperature, and finally, creating your ultimate recovery routine.
All right, Section 1. Causes of muscle pain and understanding your discomfort. Now, if you exercise regularly, you're definitely familiar with DOMS, right? Delayed onset muscle soreness. When you really push your body during a workout, you're actually creating microscopic tears in your muscle fibers. I know, the word tears sounds kind of alarming, but it's totally normal. In fact, it's a completely necessary process for building strength. As your body repairs those tiny tears, your muscles grow stronger. But well, that repair process involves inflammation, and that inflammation is the main culprit behind that intense post-workout soreness.
But listen, you absolutely do not have to be a bodybuilder to hurt. Muscle pain has so many non-exercise triggers. Just having poor posture at your desk can seriously strain your muscles over time. High stress, that causes you to physically hold tension, usually right in your neck and shoulders. Even something as simple as dehydration, catching a viral infection, or having a nutrient deficiency can leave you feeling stiff and achy all over.
Which brings us to Section 2, healing from the inside out with edible remedies. Now, what's really interesting about this is just how specific the active compounds are in some of our natural foods. Take turmeric, for instance. It's fantastic because of curcumin, which literally blocks inflammatory pathways in the body, especially if you're taking it in doses of about 1,500 to 1,500 milligrams. Then you have tart cherry, packed with anthocyanins that actively speed up your physical recovery. Pineapple? It has this amazing enzyme called bromelain that reduces inflammatory markers like C-reactive protein. And we can't forget willow bark, which contains salicin and works a lot like a gentle natural aspirin to just take the edge off the pain.
Let's actually look a little closer at those cherries, drawing on some solid data from the National Kidney Foundation. Because as it turns out, not all cherries are created equal when it comes to recovery. Sweet cherries are high in potassium and make for a great healthy snack. But the sour or tart cherries, those are the real medicine here. They pack over 20 times the amount of vitamin A, and they have significantly higher levels of those powerful antioxidants and anthocyanins that are specifically proven to knock out post-workout muscle pain. 350 to 500. That is exactly the number of milligrams of magnesium you should be aiming to take every single day. Why? Well, magnesium essentially acts as the boss of calcium transport in your muscle cells. It controls your patterns of contraction and relaxation. If you're running deficient on this stuff, your muscles are going to cramp up and just stay tense. Hitting that daily target helps your muscles naturally relax, which stops all that chronic tension from building up in the first place.
Moving right along to Section 3, the science of the soak, and debunking some common Epsom myths.
I am talking, of course, about Epsom salt. And here's a fun little fact for you. It isn't actually salt at all. It's magnesium sulfate. It gets its name from the town of Epsom, over in England, where it was discovered in natural springs hundreds of years ago. The funny thing is, local farmers noticed that their animals completely refused to drink from these springs because the water tasted so incredibly bitter. Now, you've probably heard the old claim that Epsom salt works through reverse osmosis to somehow pull toxins out of your body. Well, let's look at the science impartially here. True reverse osmosis is an industrial water purification process that uses massive amounts of high pressure. Your skin? Yeah, it just doesn't work that way. As wellness experts are quick to point out, your body already has a highly efficient built-in detox system, namely your liver and your kidneys. Your bathtub, as nice as it is, does not detoxify your organs.
So, the crucial point is that while skin absorption of magnesium is still highly debated by scientists, the actual physiological benefits of the bath itself are incredibly real and totally valid. The warm water physically increases blood flow to your muscles. The heat actually eases the pain signals traveling up to your brain. Plus, just taking that dedicated quiet time actively lowers your stress hormone, cortisol. And honestly, never underestimate the powerful placebo effect. If you firmly believe this ritual helps you, your brain is going to actively help your body feel better. To get the absolute most out of this, let's walk through the exact actionable steps for the perfect recovery bath. First, fill the tub so the water is comfortably warm, definitely not burning hot. Second, you want to add 2 to 3 whole cups of Epsom salt. Just a tiny little sprinkle isn't going to do anything for you. And third, soak for exactly 15 to 20 minutes. Actually, a quick warning here. Soaking for longer than 30 minutes can honestly lead to dehydration and just dry out your skin.
All right, Section 4, Topical Relief in Temperature, focusing on outside treatments.
When you're dealing with a really localized ache, the most common question is always ice or heat. Well, here is a super simple, evidence-based rule of thumb for you. You want to use ice for fresh injuries, swelling, and sharp pain within the first 48 hours. The cold constricts your blood vessels and literally numbs those pain signals. On the flip side, reach for the heat when you're dealing with chronic tension, general stiffness, and tight muscles, mainly because heat increases blood flow and helps flush out waste products like lactic acid.
Now, let's shift gears and talk about topical plant extracts. I want to reference some recent pharmaceutical research from the World Journal of Pharmaceutical Science and Research to really elevate our discussion around peppermint oil, because we are moving way beyond basic aromatherapy here and diving straight into the actual cellular biology of pain relief.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how it works. Meet the TRPM8 receptor. This is a cold-sensitive ion channel located right on your sensory neurons. Menthol, which is the primary active compound in peppermint, actually chemically binds to and activates this specific receptor. So it literally tricks your nervous system into perceiving a cooling sensation. This acts as a powerful, immediate counter-irritant to the pain you're feeling.
But the crazy thing is, menthol does so much more than just feel nice and cool. Biologically speaking, it blocks voltage-gated sodium channels, which turns down the firing of pain signals. It inhibits calcium influx in your muscle fibers, physically preventing those annoying muscle spasms. Plus, it reduces pro-inflammatory cytokines. Studies actually show that a topical application with just a 2 to 10% concentration of menthol acts almost exactly like a local anesthetic, delivering fast, safe, and super effective pain relief right where you need it most. Which brings us to our final section, Section 5, creating your recovery routine with actionable steps.
Let's move to your natural toolkit and see how this all builds into your ultimate science-backed routine. To minimize that delayed onset muscle soreness, grab a glass of 100% tart cherry juice post-workout. To fight systemic inflammation from the inside, take a curcumin supplement, and make sure it's paired with black pepper for better absorption. To lower cortisol and ease those pain signals, get in a 20-minute warm Epsom salt soak. And finally, to stop localized muscle spasms in their tracks, rub some topical peppermint oil right onto those tight spots. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final, frankly incredible statistic. 30%. Research, including some major studies out of Harvard, shows that adding mechanical pressure, think getting a massage or just using a foam roller, physically clears inflammatory cells right out of the injured tissue. Just that simple mechanical action alone can reduce your delayed onset muscle soreness by a massive 30% compared to just resting on the couch.
So, you now have a complete arsenal of evidence-based tools to tackle muscle pain from the inside out. Which means my challenge to you is this. What natural remedy are you going to test out on your very next rest day? Will it be the tart cherry juice, the cool biology of menthol, or maybe just that 20-minute soak? Pick one, apply the science, and really listen to how your body responds. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and here's to a faster, fully natural recovery.